Well, Team Canada came in today knowing that to get to the final against the US on Thursday, they had to get the job done against Finland today, preferably in regulation. And you kind of had a feeling who was going to step up in this one. You got a good old-fashioned McDouble. McDavid goes low glove, MacKinnon goes low blocker. It's 2-0 Canada. Things did get a little hairy for Red near the end there, but end of the day, they got the job done. And no disrespect to Finland, they're a world-class team and pretty remarkable how well they did here considering it's a country of only 5 million people. I've got a pretty big soft spot for the Finnish national team. I love Team who doesn't? Was also a big fan of Saku Koivu growing up, so this wasn't as big as when they got the bronze in 2014 with Teemu's send-off as captain, for example. That was so awesome. But they got a win against their biggest international rival. They had a respectable tournament considering the guys they lost. I mean, Heiskanen was such a huge loss for that team. Suomi, hold your heads up high. But at the end of the day, the names and the talent on Canada were just too much. And I mean, most people had an inkling it was going to be USA-Canada for the final, and now it's official. We're going to get a rematch of, one of the craziest hockey games I've ever seen, right up there with the golden goal game. Those 3 tilts in 10 seconds will be remembered forever in hockey history. And I was watching that. I know I'm far from alone, but I was sitting there like, man, how happy am I that we're watching this instead of another all-star game this year. The script flips from Montreal to Boston. That should be interesting. Matthew Tkachuk isn't playing tonight against Sweden along with McAvoy and Hellebuck. I imagine all 3 will be back in the lineup on Thursday against Canada. Brady even said that Matthew will be there, so the Bash brothers should be ready to go for that one. As for Canada, I don't imagine the lines will look much different than they did today. I mean, the changes they made seem to work. I understand they want to spread out the wealth throughout the lineup, but I still think if they badly need a goal or a clutch moment at some point in the game, load it up. The secret weapon 5-on-5, McDavid, MacKinnon, Crosby together. I'd love to see it on more than just the power play. And personally, I'd love to see Aiden Hill get in over Binnington, but hey, they've made it clear Binnington's their guy. He's played every second for Canada since the tournament started. Like I said, the Finland game got hairy near the end there. He ends the game with 3 goals allowed on 26 shots. Can you imagine if Finland would have tied the game? There would have been Canada's second blown multi-goal lead. Now, you can't put 100% of it on him, but I wonder if Cooper considers making a switch for the final against the US. McDavid's had a couple McDavid moments. Of course, the top guys have got to be the top guys, but there are 3 guys on Canada that I'm really going to keep an eye on that I think could be X factors or provide a clutch moment. Number 1 is Sam Bennett. Since he came out of the lineup, the energy's provided on the forecheck and the physicality. He could get a clutch bottom 6 greasy one. Second is Marner. Outside of that OT winner, hasn't done too much. Started the tournament on the McDavid line and got dropped down here. He's not exactly known for being clutch in a playoff type atmosphere, but he's such a skilled player that maybe further down the lineup, away from the biggest matchups, he could come up with some Mitch magic. And last, it's the Rat, although a lot of people probably make a case for Matthew Tkachuk as the Rat. But Marchand in Boston, the city where he wears the C, probably going to be a lot of Bruin fans in the stands. He's relished big games like this throughout his career. I just feel like he's going to come out with a ton of energy, charged up, and he could provide a big moment, even in the bottom 6. And for the US, maybe he has a big game against Sweden tonight. I'm recording that before this, but Austin Matthews has been pretty quiet. Maybe now being back in the States, and even though it's Boston, the home crowd being behind them, I wonder what kind of game we're going to get from him as the captain of the US on home soil in a winner-take-all against their biggest rival here. Should be a lot of fun. Can't wait till Thursday. What other fireworks are we going to get? As usual, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. You're awesome.